Welcome everybody. We are here in the TQ Open number 15. This is the finals. This is game number 1 of the finals. You'll notice that we're going to have a Protoss player named tQState in the bottom doing the very cool F1 split. And going against him is another TQ player of ours, tQSungpa. I'm tQXander, and along with me, as always, is...
TQ Atticus, and again, I'm glad to be casting alongside Xander. Always glad to be here, and especially for the TQ Opens, and I'm really happy to see Sungpa and State, two players that have been in the top 200 on the ladder frequently, and now on a GSL map, this glorious, beautiful-looking map. It should be a pretty good game.
Yeah, now, you were telling me a lot about the map right before we started watching this, so do you want to actually reiterate some of that? Because it was really cool.
Aside from being different from the other ladder maps, then simply by the sheer size of the map, it's very different, because if you take a look at that that grass that I was talking about, the little choke.
Yep.
Take a look at that again, and you'll notice that is very purposeful to SC2. That is there in particular because it means that your units moving forward or through it are much less efficient. As we all know, SC2 is much more efficient than broodwar, so normal size ramps don't mean as much as they used to. So when you force a little choke like that and then compare it to this down here, which I'm looking at the choke leading to the gold from the outside, is much larger. And now we see State moving right through it. And so that means that this gold, which of course is supposed to be a high yield, high risk, is going to be much harder to defend.
Yeah, and
especially comparing that to like Zelnaga, where the gold, you knock down some rocks and your gold's perfectly in the open. Like there's no excuse not to take it as a third.
Yeah, and then another interesting aspect to the map that I always love to see are the numbers of mineral patches around there. So you have 8 in the main as normal, then you got 7 for your natural, and then for your third, you either have a 6 mineral with gas or a 6 gold mineral only without gas, which is just such a cool thing in itself because it just forces more economic intricacies in your game.
That is very cool when you put it that way. I actually hadn't thought about that much, as I'm fairly new to this map, even though I do enjoy it so much. Yeah, it also means that players need to start keeping track of how many probes, drones, or SCVs they keep on each expansion.
Yeah, iCup Matchpoint is a perfect example. I always refer back to that for this kind of thing, because you can see that when I've used it in the TQ Open, players that aren't used to it, when they transfer probes, drones, or SCVs, they'll have a completely oversaturated natural that has 7 mineral patches, and then their main that has 9 mineral patches is completely under capacity.
Oh yeah.
And we've seen that especially again with Acer game GMMA when he was in the when he was playing the TQ Open, he was really high SCVs in the natural and very few in the main. And I really just wanted to just say, psst, please move half your SCVs from your natural into your main. But you can't do that.
Yeah. Alright.
Yeah.
Talking a little bit now about the strategy of each player's. State doing a fairly normal build despite the new map. It looks like starting up a 3-gate. We'll see whether he decides to go to a 3-gate robo or just a 3-gate expansion. Always popular. And Sung doing command center first and then 2 racks, and now building a bunker to secure it.
Yeah, and so we'll see how these guys play. I do know that Sungpa does like to go for Marines, Marauders, and Medvacs. So we'll see what he decides to do. State and Sungpa are both very strong players. Actually, I think this is the second week in a row that Sungpa has gone to the finals. Last week he ended up losing to Root Diderot, which is no shame in that.
Oh yeah,
and
Root, always a very strong team.
Oh yeah, and Diderot, very strong player. But now we do have Sungpa trying to whittle around with his Marines, trying to keep it alive, stay strong, and he's about to have an orbital command up. And you can see that State did just throw down his Nexus about half a second ago. So he's going to try and get up his Exo, but it's going to be fairly late going up against Sungpa's. So this could be a little bit of a window of opportunity for Sungpa once State starts trying to really be able to utilize his expansion.
Still, this is making my heart all Twitter-pated, as it's more broodwar-esque and so macro-oriented, and it's kind of a result of this map.
Yeah, I definitely like this. Fast expands are such solid just roots of play that it's always good to watch a fast expand against a fast expand. This is not going to be a 5-minute game. We're going to have a long, drawn-out, intricate in so many ways, going down to which path you move your army. That just makes the game so interesting.
Yeah. Tell me what you think about areas of engagement in this map.
All right. Well, the first thing the first one that I really have to look at is right outside the natural, and the first thing that I see is a defender's disadvantage, which is a little weird to say, but if you look at it, look at Sungpa's bunkers. There is a huge area for your attacking opponent to have a gigantic concave. Granted, the defender can use the cliff right outside of, like, right below the barracks area, but that would only be useful for, like, a siege tank or something. And Sungpa, I'm going to cheat a little bit and use my information about him that I already know, but Sungpa doesn't really use tanks, I believe, especially in PvT. I believe he's straight Marine Marauder Medevac. So for him, it could definitely be a disadvantage, especially if you can get Colossi up behind the ledge on the left, to the left of the bunker, so it's not even within vision of Sungpa. That's just going to be a very, very bad position for Sungpa to be in.
Yeah, I'd agree with that entirely.
Yep. And you can see that I love what State is doing by just poking in with some stalkers, just doing a little bit of damage and coming back before the stalkers take any real damage. But oh god, he might. Oh, okay, never mind. So he's probably okay. But he almost just lost a stalker to concussive shells.
I gotta actually say, looking at his production, yeah, I'm looking at State's warp gate's now getting chronoed. 2 forges going down. He's a little bit behind in production.
Yeah, I think he.
I mean, if Sungpa decided to push here, I don't think he'd be able to hold it off.
Yeah, we're going to definitely see something similar to that. But I think what State is trying to do is just survive for now. Keep poking in with stalkers, keep Sungpa within Sungpa's base, and then try and play for just straight for the late game. Just try and survive, get his upgrades now in the hopes of being able to just make his units more effective. But if State decides to attack, he's got to be just done. He's going to be done. There's no other way to put it.
Yeah, and again, there's that efficiency thinking, oh god. Sungpa, moving out.
How far are you into it? I'm 9:30.
Okay, I will wait just a minute.
Yeah,
Tell me when you're at 9:45, and you'll have the same reaction.
Yeah, I do see this match already. Oh my god, with SEVs. With SEVs, I'm at 9:42, so this is gonna be 9:45. This is gonna be crazy for Sungpa coming in. There's no way State can handle it. Sungpa doesn't have to do anything. One stim, and DPS. Oh, he's got even a surround by coming out with outside of the choke over here.
Oh, perfect positioning.
Oh my god, and the misplaced force field is just making this whole thing worse. And this is State's like oh god, GG, but very good manner with the happy face. So tQSungpa does emerge victorious in the first game. Very cool game.
I like that game because it really shows the power of early expanding Terran.
Yeah, with a greatly timed pushed State with the little bit later expansion getting completely decimated just when he was starting to be able to make use of the expansion. You can see that he mined a couple hundred minerals from each patch, which is a great time to push because you can see all the production before that was made on constant probes and everything. So great job.